Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Songwriting 101 with me, Cloudy Galvez. So, today we're going to talk a little bit about what you can do with visual prompts rather than all of these written ones. And the things that I do, especially over on TikTok, is more like try this, try that. It's always something that you have to do. So I think today we'll focus on something that you don't necessarily have to physically go out and do, but something that you can do just as easily by looking at something. So it's basically we're going to take an image or a video, and this can be absolutely anything, but for the purposes of this exercise, I'm going to show you one from my phone. So you can get one of these from your own phone, something old, something new, whatever. You can always go on a random image generator as well. But today we're going to use this one. So you guys in the UK will remember this a few months back when it was snowing really heavily. So this is just a little video that I took because I thought it looked pretty cool out there. I thought maybe I'll write something to this one day. It looked like a good prompt for future me. So that's another thing you can do as well, guys, is if you somewhere that's particularly inspiring, you see something that could be inspiring later on, grab a quick video. We've all got our phones on us all the time. So grab a quick video or a picture, and then it can be used as future inspiration for you. So this is my inspiration for today. Car, snow, that type of stuff. So what can I think about when I'm thinking of this car in a driveway, and it was kind of on its way to being snowed in? So there was this idea of circulating around my head of the car being stuck in the driveway. And you know what it's like when it's snowing, everything shuts down, so there's no way to go anywhere or do anything. You're very stuck. And I liked that idea of kind of needing to be with someone or go and chase someone, but you can't because the weather isn't allowing you to do that. So this is what I've come up with for this. The first bit is literally explaining that as a narrative. Now my car's stuck in the driveway, frozen to the ground. That's my first line. Okay, so I'm setting the scene. I'm really detailing to the listener what I'm seeing, what I'm imagining in my video, or even in a made-up scene in your mind, if that's how you want to play this one. And so now I think, what's the next bit got to be about? We have to develop this somehow and keep the attention. I've set the scene, but what can I say now? So I kind of got into that headspace of what does it feel like when you're stuck somewhere and snow won't permit you to make it to where you want to be. And it's funny, I remember the first ever gig I did with with my very, very favorite people over at Gig Appy in London. When I was doing a gig with them, the very first time I was stuck in Reading, so I didn't actually get to go to the gig, so we had to reschedule it, and we're actually really good mates now, and they're a connection and for me that I'm really, really pleased to have, because we're friends and we work great together. So there's that little anecdote there for me to sprinkle this in with a bit of personality there. So I remember when I was stuck and I really wanted to be at that gig, I was jonesing for it. I had to go and perform, but I couldn't get there because the snow just was not allowing me to. And so I was angry at the snow. I was angry. I was frustrated. And so I think that if you're stuck somewhere, that's going to be your overwhelming feeling. So my second line then is, and as the snow falls from the sky, I'll say I hate this stupid town. Because that's how you feel, isn't it? When you're stuck somewhere and you want to be somewhere else. Certainly that's how I felt when I was stuck. I was stuck in the countryside and I really wanted to be back in London playing a gig. And so that's where the inspiration for these two came from. Now, why do you hate this stupid town? You have to keep it moving forwards, right? So in my third line, I have to answer that question. My third line is, for keeping me apart from you, and although it's not its fault, so I know it's not the town's fault, but I'm still mad about it. And then my final line is, I need to follow that up with something that ties the whole lot together. So I've gone for, it's easier to hate this view than admit that I miss you a lot. So altogether, our lyrics for this snowy car stuck in a driveway visual are: now my car's stuck in my driveway, frozen to the ground, and as the snow falls from the sky, I'll say I hate this stupid town for keeping me apart from you, and although it's not its fault, it's easier to hate this view than to admit that I miss you a lot. So I think that's a really good starting off point, because you're admitting then at the end of the line, the end of the verse, sorry, that final line that ties it all together, you then start to bring emotion into it. I mean, emotion was there before with the hate, right? But this time it almost feels like in that final line, you're becoming a little bit more honest with yourself. And that gives a jumping off point for the rest of the song, because now you're thinking, oh, well, who do they miss? What was the relationship like? And that there's all these different questions now that you can answer as a songwriter. So I think that a lot of the time when you're starting out with the first 4 lines of your song, you need to think about how they contribute to the progression of the story. How does this affect what's happening within the song? And I think there was some interesting advice floating around at the moment, especially on TikTok. You'll see this a lot. But there's people thinking of songs as like a little book, like 3 kind of sections: the beginning, the middle, the end. And the beginning is like set the scene, what's happening. The middle is like, how did you feel about it? And it, like, at the time and all that kind of stuff. And the end is asking you, what did you learn from that experience? How have you reflected upon that? And so having a line or 2 on the ends of each section that you're thinking about that just really contributes to moving the narrative forwards is something to think about adding into your sections of your songs. It just sparks a little bit more engagement from your listener, and it just gets that piques that curiosity, thinking, oh, I wonder what's going to happen next. Or, it's that kind of thought process that you're looking to engage there. So that is my top tip for today, is visual creative inspiration. Find a picture or a video to write from and think about how each line contributes to the progression of the narrative. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in with me today. I will be back again tomorrow at some point during the afternoon, as I've been doing the last few weeks, for more Songwriting 101. Have a lovely evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.